everyone. I don't know what's been going on in your life, but in my life, we are about to start back to school and we're starting back online. Great. In the last few months, things have changed very, very quickly. If you're watching this sometime in the future, I'm filming this in 2020 and that should be plenty of explanation for you. Over the last few months, things have been changing rapidly as schools were thrown into distance learning and digital learning and all sorts of things that made things very, very complicated. With the changes, one thing that's happened is that Teachers Pay Teachers has actually stepped up their game and allowed you to create digital resources out of PDFs that you have already purchased. It's awesome. So if you are a TPT seller or if you're someone who buys on TPT, you can take advantage of this functionality. Basically, a seller can opt in to create digital resources on Teachers Pay Teachers platforms. And once they opt in, the seller and the buyer can go in and add digital layers on top of resources that already existed. This means that if you made a resource 5 years ago, and it's a PDF and you opt into the digital resources, then you can add a digital layer today. Same goes for buyers. If you purchased a resource and it's part of the digital activities, then you can go in and add a digital layer. You can do things like subtracting and adding different slides. You can add directions. You can add text boxes. You can do a whole bunch of things. We're probably not gonna be able to get through everything today, but I did want to give you a lowdown of very simplistically how to use this super awesome feature so that first of all, if you didn't know that it was there, it is. And secondly, so that you can take advantage of it, whether you are a seller or a buyer, everyone can use it. So a few things to know. If you are a seller, again, you can add that digital layer, but your buyers can also add it, which means that if you don't add it, they can do it themselves. It is better to have it on there, but if you're like me and you have like 300 resources, that might take a while. And the other thing to know is that buyers can change anything that you add on there. So if you add a text box and the person buys it and they don't like that text box, then they can delete it and they can change it to adapt to their students, which is extra super awesome. You can also get a link so that you can easily assign activities to Google Classroom straight from Teachers Pay Teachers and they can send it right back to you. All right, without further ado, we're gonna hop right into the tutorial.
Friends, so this is the dashboard of my Teachers Pay Teachers store, and this is Becca's Bible class. So what I'm gonna do is up here you see it says TPT Digital Activities. Now I have already opted into TPT's digital activities. Mine was like a banner at the top. If you did not see that, then this is where you'll want to go. And so it has a little bit of information here. You can read on your own time. I hate when people read things to me. So now I've already done some of these. So you can see where these see published. So I published the digital version of this activity on the 5th. And so quite a few of mine have them. Now, some of these honestly won't work well. So for example, the Bible verse coloring sheets, not gonna work well. Technically at this time, you can still turn it into a digital activity, but I mean, why? So I'm gonna skip all of the coloring sheets, and I'm also gonna skip these sword drills because those are like printable activities. And we'll come here to Jesus Calms the Storm. That's a good one. So it'll take you to this page, and on here is where you deselect anything that the kids don't need. So if you are sending this to your kiddos, you can actually send like just one page, which is super awesome. So I'm gonna unselect these. Now these are coloring sheets, so I could unselect them because really they're not gonna work really super well, but I'm gonna leave them anyway. So now you can see over here are the pages. I can click this edit pages to go back to where I just was, or I can click this to go back to like the full thing. You can rotate your pages, there's a help button, and then over here are your tools. So there's an answer box, so that's where students would type their answers. There's a text box where you can write whatever you would like to, a pen and a highlight tool, select and delete. Notice we are on prepare. That means we are prepping this activity. So on our first one, this page is a comic strip. So students are supposed to finish the comic strip by drawing a picture. So I'm gonna add the text box just over here on the side and write use the pen or the highlight tools to draw your pictures. Okay, and then I'm gonna click on it so that I can change it. You can change the color up here. I'm not too worried about the color. And then you can change the size as well, and you can move that around. So if I wanted it somewhere else, I could. I like to put it on this side section and like right next to where they're actually going to be working. So then on my next page, this is where we're brainstorming things that make me feel like a storm. So I'm gonna put an answer box, and there's two ways you could do this. You could do the whole thing, or you could do like an answer box here and then another one and another one. Now you can copy, which is good. Okay, so on my Mac, I'm using Command C to copy and then Command V to paste. I could not, you see when I did this, I couldn't paste that way like I normally can, and that messed it up. So when I right clicked, it didn't work. Same thing with the next one. This is things that make me feel like I am in calm waters, and I'm gonna add those same text boxes. So then we have some coloring sheets. So I need to rotate this page so that it is right side up. And then let's see if I can copy this. Okay, so I was able to copy this. I was not able to do that on my iPad, which is where I have been doing it, which was very annoying. So we want to color. So this really and truly was not the best item to use for this activity because clearly we got like coloring sheets in here, but it still gives you kind of the idea. So I'm going to add all these things in here. And then I'm going to come up here to preview. So this is what it's going to look like for the kids. They're still working out some of the kinks. So some things are still a little bit like, it's not the greatest. Okay, so that'll be what it looks like. Now, when the teachers get it, so this is what it looks like for the kids. So like they just click here to type their answer. And then obviously they can add a text box, a pen, or a highlight as well. Now, when teachers get it, they can actually change all of these things. So if they decided that instead of drawing a picture, they wanted you to find this section in the Bible, then they could delete this and then write those instructions and add a text box here. Or if they just didn't want this page at all, they could go to the edit pages and they could get rid of this page. So you can change anything and it does not affect your actual resource. So as far as like the PDF goes, it's not going to mess with it. And if you click edit pages, you can add from the original. So I can add back any of the pages that I took out. So if you took out a page, you can very easily get it back. So really awesome, because that's always one of my concerns is I don't want the kids to have, more than they need. So then I'm just going to come over here to published, and it's just going to tell me, hey, this is what you got. I'm going to click publish, and there we go. Easy, easy peasy, right? Yeah. So when I go to this product, oh, that's not what I wanted. Let's look. View product on TPT. So when I go to this product, you can see here's my product with my preview and like my whole preview. Over here on this side is this TPT digital activity. So all of my products have this, even like the coloring pages and things that I have not created a digital resource for, because at least at this moment, they're just doing it as like everybody is going in there. So just a heads up. But if I click use as a buyer, this is what the buyer looks like. And I mean, y'all, literally it is exactly what I just showed you. So again, they can delete that, they can change the color, they can get rid of things, they can get rid of pages, they can edit the pages over here. They can add pages from the original that I took out because I didn't think that they needed my terms of use page to send to their kids. So all of those things you can change. So I hope that was very helpful and very informative. It's really quite self-explanatory, but really, really cool. And then if you come over here to assign, then you can create this access link, and that is what you send to kids. So they do have to log into their Google account to access the activity, but still super, super awesome. Super awesome. So just click that link and then you will get what the kids will do. Leave any questions that you have down below in the comments and I will try my best to answer them. Thank you so much for watching and have a wonderful, wonderful week.
I hope that was helpful. Thank you so much for watching. Leave all of your comments down below and I will see you next time. Have a wonderful, wonderful week.